picture of you by the steps is your photo on my phone.
Oh, is it?
Every time I see it, I'm like, hey, there he is.
Yeah, there I am.
What's up,
I
buddy?
gotta put one of you on mine now. I just that stuff never dawns on me.
You know what it is? Whenever I put a new contact in there, it asks for it. It says, do you want to put a photo and a ringtone?
Okay.
So yeah, so your ringtones take you back, and that
Oh.
picture of you in front of the steps. There you go. That's you.
All right. Well, you know what? I'll have to come up with the same. Mikasa Sukasa, right?
Right. So what's going on? See, those of you that watch the show, you watch the show, you see it every week, hopefully, and you really don't know a lot of the behind the scenes stuff that goes on sometimes. So I'll give you a little rundown why we're kind of excited to be back on the air together. And I know you're probably thinking, well, what do you mean? We were just on the air last week. As you guys know, we don't go live on the YouTube,
Right.
but we had to record a bunch of episodes in advance.
Yes, we did.
My daughter came home from college, and I had to remove my studio out of her room and give her bedroom back. So we recorded. So Rick and I have not recorded or talked to each other, whatever, in 6 weeks. So it's good to be back.
I mean, we've talked on the phone and texted, but we haven't been like face to face like this, But it's been 6 weeks.
Correct.
Holy crap!
It's been. Let me see. I'll tell you right. Well, hold on. I think it's been 5. 5 weeks.
Okay,
5 weeks.
Well, I told you that's when last time I talked to you on the phone. I'm like, I need a hug, Tony, from you.
Well, you get used to doing it, and when we're in the the green room doing our pregame, our pre-show discussion and what we're going to do and whatnot. We obviously just chat and talk about stuff and whatever, catch up for the week or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we haven't done that. So I got to make sure I look forward today. I was told by one of our followers that I look down a lot.
Oh really?
She really wasn't very nice about it either, but I'll tell my wife to stop, complaining. She said I look down all the time. Okay. She goes, you look down a lot. She goes, look up at the camera. I'm like, well, I'm looking at Rick. I'm not looking at the camera,
I mean, it depends. I mean, if you're looking up something, for information facts or
and that's what happened.
Before we started doing this,
yeah.
You were looking, you're playing on it on your phone, and so I can understand that. But
yeah, we're a little slow. Sorry it took us so long to realize to play the movie behind Rick. Why we didn't think of that earlier, I don't know. But
oh man,
too much Uncle Frank's, I guess. I don't know. We'll blame it on that.
Who knows? Speaking of Frank, he is right there.
There he is.
There he is.
Street corner. Take you back.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So those of you that watched last week, we stopped Rocky Balboa about halfway, approximately. Mm-hmm. So we're going to continue it from there forward and obviously let the movie run. We're going to talk about it some more as the movie's playing. Of course, I have the greatest speech in film history shirt on. So I guess without further ado, let's get Rocky Balboa back and running. Okay. And we left off. Rocky was in the van with little Marie.
And let's hope this works. It's been 5-6 weeks.
Uh-oh. Houston, we have a problem. The glasses are coming on. Uh-oh. We probably should have tested this in the before we got on air. Hey, there we go.
I just got to push the right damn button.
All right, so you got a little volume there, a little bit, so they could hear a little bit, or no, we're leaving it like that.
You can do that.
I don't remember how we had it last time.
Well, we didn't have it too awful loud.
Yeah. Well, he's in the van. This is after he talks to the managers for Mason Dixon.
Yes.
And he's kind of just going, trying to just lay it out. He did all that with Adrian.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't really kind of just go off on his own. And not that she's taking the place of Adrian, but he kind of wanted somebody else to say, like, he respected her opinion, he respected her thoughts. Paulie, of course, we put him down a little bit about it, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So,
Well,
he goes to her and say,
you always look
that?
for you look for people that you have respect in to bounce things off of.
Yeah, of course.
And obviously he must respect her because he's giving her and Steps, her son, these opportunities, with
Yeah.
Adrian's restaurant to come over and work and yada yada.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, he feels a connection, from back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
This has been a long friendship, if you want to put it as a friendship. So you always look for somebody
Yeah.
to bounce stuff off of.
Yeah, of course. He wanted to hear it from somebody else to say, like he said, is it just my ego? Like my son says, it's just my ego talking. And
Yeah.
he's still a little unsure because in the press conference here, you can see it in his face. He's like, the press is kind of, Balboasaurus, and
Yeah.
what are you doing? Has been, and you can see in his face. He's like, eh, what am I doing?
Right.
And then I like how Duke, so puncher's always got a chance.
That's right. That's right.
And speaking of the puncher's chance, as you know, some may not, but that was the actual part of the title for this, before it was finalized.
Oh,
Rocky,
really?
yeah, Rocky Balboa, the puncher's chance. And remember
Oh,
that script I sent you that I found
yeah.
online?
That's
And there's
yeah.
a lot. It was on there on the front page, said puncher's chance on it, but there was
Okay.
quite a few differences in that script compared to the movie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if
I
it would
gotta
have
go
been
back
better or worse.
and I gotta go back and reread that. It's been a minute since I've read it.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I gotta take the time to really absorb it too. So
The
you
biggest
know,
takeaway is Mr. T was involved. Mr. T,
right?
Clubber Lang
Yeah.
was the color man on the fight.
Yeah. Right. That was crazy.
So Mason gets up there, and in true Mason form, he's blaming it on everybody else. I'm doing this for you. I don't need this, and demanding his respect as he thinks he tries to do. Like I like the line that one of his managers said when he was in the boxing ring. He's walking back and forth, and he's like, "You don't get it. They don't like you no more."
Right. Yeah.
He's like,
They don't like it.
we made your world green. You did the rest,
Yep.
and it was true.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So of course Robert sees the press conference in the bar and thinking his worst nightmare is coming to
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Like it was bad enough that I hear about you, and your stuff was in the past.
Sure. Well, and here is, obviously we're getting into the big moment, but the shirt, which is probably second to Cut Me Mick, the Dempsey.
Yeah.
Every Rocky fan's got a Cut Me Mick and a Dempsey shirt.
I'm surprised he put Dempsey, though, to be honest with you, because he liked Marciano so much. I'm surprised
There
he
is a
didn't have
Marciano
Marciano.
one. There is a
What
Marciano.
that he wears?
No, but it was part of
Oh,
the collection.
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
So yeah, of course, here's the big speech. Now the speech just grows with time. Remember first hearing it?
Oh my God. I'm going to try and give some volume to this.
Yeah.
You let me know.
Yeah. That's good.
I know that's not what you want to do, but that's just the way that it is. Don't care what people
I love how Robert is so aggressive and like trying to really go at his father until that
Yeah.
moment where Rocky just, it's after he
Boom.
rolls his eyes at him.
You ain't gonna believe this. But you used to fit right here.
I'd hold you up.
Now watch Robert. He just rolls his eyes. He's like, oh, Christ, here we go.
This kid's going to be somebody better than anybody ever knew. And you grew up good and wonderful. It was great just watching you every day. It was like a privilege.
You can hear it okay?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And take on
I know it's
world.
kind of weird, everybody. We're just watching us watch this film, but the scene deserves it.
It's an iconic moment. You got to stop and watch.
Tell you you're no good. And when things got hard, you started looking for something to blame, like a big shadow.
Here we go.
Something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it.
Look at Robert's face now.
Nobody is going to hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you got to be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
I almost punched the guy in front of me in the movie theater when that happened.
Just chills, goosebumps all the time.
No matter what happens, you're my son, you're my blood. You're the best thing in my life. But until you start believing in yourself.
I love how he got it really up there. Hold on.
Don't forget to visit your mother.
I love how he doesn't walk around him. He almost walked through Robert.
Yeah,
point.
Kind of gave him the shoulder a little bit.
Gave him a little bit like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just iconic. It really is. And it sums it up. And like you said, being our age and having experienced life already, a lot of life, of course, there's still more to come, but it's just, I mean, it really hits home. I was 40 when this came out and it just hit home.
Okay. Yeah. It's
amazing.
amazing.
And the next scene, he's like, when he just quit his job, he knew that, Rocky's words meant something to him.
Sure.
He's like, yeah,
Sure.
Who am I being? What am I doing?
Between this one, I'm sorry, between this one and the Boxing Commission,
yeah,
1A, 1B, two of the most amazing movie iconic speeches ever, in my opinion, in one movie. Just blows my mind. I can listen to those time after time. I'll never get sick of it. It never gets old to me.
Because, like you said, it hits home in a lot of ways. Who has the right to tell you what to do when you paid your freight? Blah, blah, goes on and on.
Absolutely.
I mean, it hits home. And then he says to him, of course, saying, what are you going to do now? He's like, I want to see. It's been a while since I saw you fight.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, but his words hit home. And that's why it was kind of weird. I mean, I would love to see the transition in some way between Balboa and Creed and then Creed 2, because obviously we know the ending of Creed 2, but I mean, like when he tells him he moved to somewhere called Vancouver, like, so what happened between this and that? Like,
right. There's a lot of things that could be filled in.
Yeah, I mean, it could. I mean, maybe we're grasping to just try to hold on to the story. But I mean, let's face it. I mean, between here, excuse me, and Creed, Robert moved out of Philly and moved to Canada with his girlfriend, who, I guess became his wife, and they have Logan.
Yep.
But did things go south with Rocky and Robert again? Obviously, they kind of did. They don't really talk all that much. He didn't go up there when Logan was born, and like he says in Creed 2. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of storyline that you could fill in there, like what happened.
Yeah.
And then
now we're going to get to the Now we're going to get to the.
Oh man, I tell you,
when you first heard the trumpets in the theater, I don't know about you, but I was just like, ah.
Well, it's 30 years after the original.
Yeah.
Almost literally. I mean, it's 2006. 76 is when the original came out. So I mean, this is a brand new generation seeing and hearing those soundtracks and seeing these training montages.
Oh, it just.
I mean, it's
I couldn't.
And I do believe that's what
What's that?
What was that?
I was gonna say my bones wanted to jump out of my
I thought you
skin.
said something.
Oh, I was gonna say no, my bones wanted to jump out of my skin.
Oh, I know. I know, right?
And there's
Duke's telling, I love when he points to Duke too. I love that part.
I was just gonna say that I have that picture hanging up right over
buffering,
here.
I think we love.
Yeah, a little bit. I have, but that picture where he's pointing, I have it over here.
Oh God! I apologize for the buffering. I'm not sure what's going on. If it keeps going on, we may have to stop and start over, but we'll see.
Okay.
So again, another montage scene, and there's a lot of throwbacks to the original. Obviously, Paulie asking him if he could make some money off his name. Sure, he can make some money off his name just like in the original. And then he lets him in the meat house. Again, a throwback there.
Yep.
There's
love it. It's coming up.
Yeah, well, like we said, bridging the gaps to just keep the storyline going. You would just love to know.
Yeah. And it's right there. Yeah. I love it. I would love to have that as a t-shirt.
That's awesome.
I want that as a t-shirt.
Yeah, right. And of course, runs up the steps again. Now he hasn't run up the steps now in this film because he didn't run up the steps. Well, I guess he kind of ran up the steps in 5.
Yeah.
And 4, though, of course, he didn't run up the stairs. He ran up the mountain. And 3, he ran the beach. And they're back in Vegas. Leroy Neiman's there.
Another blast from the past.
Mason Dixon. I know he's a pro boxer, but he hasn't. He looks like he could carry. He didn't train at all for this fight. Am I freezing up to you?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
Tarver, though, he's tall.
Yeah, he looks. Well, you met him, so.
Yeah, I met him. He's definitely a good head and a half above me.
So what do you think he is? Like 6'2"?
Oh, I'm 5'8", and he's over here. So
yeah, oh wow. I have to look away from the screen. Sorry. Let's see. Let's see how tall he is. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Antonio Tarver. No, he's 6'2".
Good call.
That's a complete guess. I figured I knew he was over 6 foot, but he didn't look like 6'4" or anything, you know.
You must work at the state fair or the carnivals, guessing people's weight and stuff.
Guess my height and weight, right?
Yeah.
So tells Robert to hold back. I like how he tells her, and then I like how Robert's watching him handle. Ain't nothing over till it's over. What's that from the 80s? I think that's the 70s.
Yeah, love it.
That's great.
That'd be another great T-shirt. Is that from the 80s? No, that's from the 70s.
The 70s. I think that's from this. And it was from the 70s. Yogi Berra said that.
Yeah.
It ain't over till it's over. So again, she's kind of not giving him the approval, but kind of giving him, like, look, you got this and all. And everybody in that audience was praying they were not going to kiss.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, if they kiss, I'm going to lose it.
Yeah.
But I should have known better. I should have known that Sly would have never wrote that kind of script. And
Yeah, but how many years later, we just didn't know. And the way they're so close,
yeah,
like, don't you do it?
I know. And
Don't you
he's
do
got
it.
like the undershirt tank top on.
Yeah,
It's like,
don't you do it?
you just can't think about it. You just can't.
No.
You can't picture that. It's like.
But was it you who told me, or did I hear where his wife Jennifer said, "No, you can't let them kiss," or something like
Yeah,
that?
because he was. I don't know if he was toying around with it, or maybe somebody asked. I don't remember how it got to the point where Jennifer said that to him, but I do remember either reading it or hearing Sly himself. I don't recall the where I got the information, but she did say like that you're out of your mind. You cannot have a romantic
Right.
relationship. Rocky would never. It wouldn't happen.
Right.
And to be honest with you, I mean, this movie. Now, if you're going in a true timeline, this movie is in 06. Adrian Gravestone says she died in 02. So, I mean, it was only 4 years prior. So it's not, I'm not saying, I mean, I've known people that got married, barely a year after their spouse died.
Sure.
So, I mean, I'm not going to say there's a timeline for it, but knowing their relationship and how much they meant to each other, 4 years, not near enough time for him to have gone to somebody else.
And quite honestly, I mean, I know in my mind and I know in your mind, and I have to, it doesn't even bear repeating the fact that we can't see it. It's Rocky and Adrian. It's not Rocky and anybody else. It's just it doesn't.
Well, remember
work.
you told me Rocky 2 was originally, there was all kinds of stuff going on where Rocky and Adrian split up or something, and I don't even know. Like it was a complete
yeah. That's right.
Complete difference.
Where he wanted. Oh God! Oh, I gotta remember this one. They wanted. I don't remember exactly how it went, but Rocky was hanging out at like the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah, he was just going a little overboard.
And Adrian, they separated, and yeah, that was one story that's I think Sly.
Yeah, and see, I mean, and that story would have never. I mean, that Rocky just wasn't like that. Like he. So I'm glad he changed his mind on that one.
Right. But you know what I wanted to, you know what, I'm going to jump a little bit here.
I was going to say Balboa's playing. We're talking about every other Rocky.
I know, right? But when we were doing Rocky 5, okay, something that I wanted to bring up and I didn't bring up, and I was kind of remiss that I didn't, was at the end, we didn't talk about this, was that Rocky was supposed to die. Sly wrote the screenplay for Rocky to die.
Mm-hmm. In Adrian's arms.
So a lot of people who give Rocky 5 the bad, a bad press on that, you got to remember that the whole movie was written up to that point, and it was later on that they said Rocky will never die. But it was also written that when he died, he found out that Adrian was pregnant with the daughter he always wanted.
Oh, I didn't know that part. Okay.
Yes. So I just wanted to bring that back because I felt bad that we didn't talk about it because that's such a big part of an unknown story on Fox.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
So it just might explain.
Like in this movie. Now, I don't want to go. I mean, obviously, everybody's seen the movie. I mean, it's not. I'm not giving anything away. But when there was two lines in this movie, in this fight scene, that made me think something was going to happen to Rocky. First scene was Robert said, you got nothing more to prove. And Rocky's like, I got to go out the way I got to go out.
Right.
That concerned me.
Yes.
And then I don't know if it was Jim Lampley or Max Kellerman. I think it was Lampley no. Actually, it wasn't. I think it was, it doesn't matter. I can't think of the other announcer's name anyway. He said, the boxing commission will be like tortured if something were to happen to Rocky.
Yeah. Jimmy
and
Lemon,
when they said that, I was like, oh my God, he's gonna die. He's gonna die. This can't happen. I can't see this happen. Man, I would have lost it.
Yeah. Actually, it was like like a foreshadowing moment that never
Yeah,
came
that's what I,
true.
I thought.
Thank
I thought it
God.
was. I did. I thought it was that.
Was it the announcer Jimmy Lennon? Was that him?
Yes, it was Jimmy Lennon. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it wasn't the Kellerman or Lampley.
Speaking of which, Jim Lampley was at the Hall of Fame this weekend. I didn't.
Oh, was he really?
I did not get a chance to meet him. We will be. That's coming up, guys. We'll be talking about that soon.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of good stuff coming up. A lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
My
do.
man Rick here has been busy. He's been busy this weekend.
At the nose to the grindstone, pencil
That's
to the
it.
paper.
There you go. You got Mike Tyson mouthing, telling him shut up, and he wants to fight him, this and that. And then of course Michael Buffer.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I read somewhere, and I don't know how true it is, but I read somewhere that he registered Let's Get Ready to Rumble or copyrighted it, and he gets paid $1 million every time he says it.
Wow. No, I don't know about that.
I don't know how true that is.
I do know he copywrote it.
Let's see.
Damn.
Let's take a look.
Good for him. Can we come up with a good catchphrase, Tony?
I know, right? Let's see. I'm gonna take a look right now and see if it's true. Michael Buffer is worth an estimated $400 million. Built his fortune primarily through his career as a ring announcer and trademarking his famous catchphrase. So maybe it's not every time he says it, but I guess just when he's hired as an announcer. I don't know.
That would make sense. I mean, a lot of actors and stuff would get like $1 million per episode.
Yeah.
The cast of Friends each got $1 million per episode.
Oh yeah. Okay. So see, it says, it depends on the fight, but Buffer earns between 25,000 and 100,000 every time he says that. Every time he intros the boxers and then says, "Let's get ready to rumble." And there has been a rare occasions, but there has happened where he's been paid $1 million to say it.
Wow.
That's crazy. And that started a long time ago. He's been around a long time.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, tough way to make a living.
Yeah, right. Introducing fighters.
Yeah.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Jeez. I'll trade after what I was doing today.
No, as everybody knows, this fight was right. Everybody knows the fight was filmed in between or after or whatever real boxing match at the hotel in Vegas.
Yes.
And there he goes, going down there to pray like he has in every fight. I love how Tarver's not listening to anybody. Well, Dixon is not listening to anybody. He's like, listen, coach. He's like, yeah. And even when before he's like, what about my respect? He's like, what? You're like, will you listen to hear yourself? God.
I remember in the movies, I was like so excited when this fight started. Like I was actually watching a real fight on TV.
Right.
I was like, I'm going like the.
Oh yeah, I still do it.
Yeah,
we were watching it just the other night because there's a rule in the house, and it should be a standard Rocky rule that you're ever flicking around channels. I mean, I own them, so of course I could put them on whenever I want. But I mean, when you're flicking around channels, if you come across, Rocky during the training scene, you got to stop. That's the way it works. So we came across it. It was just starting the training scene. Before the fight, so we finished watching it, of course. And I'm sitting. I'm going, Rock, put your hands up, man.
Yeah,
like I'm bouncing around like I don't know the ending.
Yeah.
Oh man,
boom.
Yeah, some of those shots Rocky lands, man. Oof.
Well, I saw like not an interview, but like a clip when they were training or rehearsing for this scene.
choreography.
Yeah. And Tarver says to Sly, he's like, you're not pulling him, man. You're turning that wrist over. You turn that shit over, man. He's like, I'm telling you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sly wanted to put him down.
Yeah.
Look at it. That scene's great too. Rocky's like, just whatever.
Yeah,
It's like I've been here a million times. Just go back to your corner.
Yeah. Been there, done that.
I
love the stat though. I love this stat coming up.
Oh, I know, right?
It's like, what? So every time I watch it, I try to count his punches.
Oh. 69 and 59.
And Rocky was what, 9 out of 13?
Well, let's face it, with the exception of Rocky 3, it wasn't like he was much of an Apollo Creed type of fighter, where he was dancing and jabbing.
Right.
Which that always made me laugh. Like why he did it in 3, but then he never did it again. Like,
yeah.
But then again, in 4, he kind of had to change his style. So,
right.
Can you make it a little louder?
Oh, I can.
Now, Tarver thinks it's a big game. He's like, what, just stay down, stop. What is going on? At least talking to the ref. Like, look what I'm doing to this guy. Of course, he's taking some of Tarver's good shots. But, I mean, Tarver's so fast. I keep calling him Tarver. Mason Dixon is so fast that, he's getting hit. I mean, it's Rocky's getting up. He's like, and Mason's like, he's looking at the ref like, what are you doing, man? Just stop. Look, I'm killing this guy.
Boom.
Oh, good shots right there. Rocky's like, this isn't no exhibition, pal. Here you go. And then bam. And Duke sees it. And he just go after him. Because he knows he can't really put his hand up just yet. He could try to protect himself.
And he's just going to the body. And
Rocky's unloading on the body.
He is just throwing bombs.
And Mason Dixon's probably never been hit this hard in his body in his life.
Right.
But like Lampley says, it's on the job training.
Yeah.
He's getting so pumped up. I love it.
Oh my God.
Look, he just goes after him again. Bam, bam. Love it. He's only got one arm. I mean, that's the key to hit him with those body shots because he's pretty tall. He's a lot taller than him, so he's got the reach, but not a lot of fighters can handle body shots.
No.
I mean, they could handle them, of course. They're pro boxers, but
but they take, that takes its toll.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like it was like the chopping down the tree in 4. You're doing the body shots to Drago, and he's chopping down the tree. Yep. It was like that metaphor.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I love it. Robert's like, everybody does a joke, including me. Now nobody's laughing.
Right.
Love it. Love that. He's getting all into it. And I just adore what he did with this fight scene with the black and white, the red of the blood, the yellow. Of course, they brought the Bill Conti music Conquest from Rocky 2.
Yeah.
When Rocky fought Apollo the second time. Man. They're just looking over at him. Oh, I love it. I mean, it's almost just like the first one. He knows there's a slim chance of winning, but he just doesn't want to embarrass himself. He wants to get the respect and, do what he's going to do. He wants to be standing in the end.
Yeah.
And if he wins, he wins. But
which was a fitting bookend to Rocky and Balboa. You know, it was a perfect. I
Yeah.
thought it was a perfect bookend for
Yeah.
the Rocky saga.
Yeah. Now, everybody, I'm sure, is aware, or most of Rocky Land is aware, that the 4K ultra high def steelbook editions Blu-ray of Balboa and of Rocky 5 will be released on July 16th. They're available on Amazon and so forth and so on. Reason I'm bringing it up is that there's a director's cut version of Balboa, which I didn't even know director's cut existed. So
No,
we'll see. I do know that there was 4 endings or 3 endings. I think it was they both won. They both, one won, one lost, and then it was I forget how it was, but supposedly there's a variety of endings that were filmed for a few reasons. They weren't sure how they were going to go with it, and they also didn't want anybody to go telling people, "Oh, Rocky loses. Oh, Rocky wins. Oh, Rocky,
right.
it's a split decision."
Well, I know on my Blu-ray, on my Balboa Blu-ray, it shows one deleted scene, one deleted ending, or
Oh,
one
okay.
alternative ending, and that's
Okay.
the one where Rocky wins.
Okay.
There was no other. But I'll tell you what, all those deleted scenes that are on there are all worth the watch. When I watch it on my Blu-ray, I
Right.
always watch my deleted scenes.
Yeah, it's supposed to come out, like I said, I think July 16th. But like I said, it does have a bunch of stuff. So I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
Director's cut, which, like I said, that surprised me. There's the theatrical version and then the director's cut.
Right. Okay.
Special commentary from Sylvester Stallone, deleted scenes, alternate ending, and 4 featurettes. Looking forward to that.
There it is. I got to go out the way I got to go out.
That made me nervous, man. I'll tell you, I'm gonna lie. I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
I didn't like the sound of that.
No, you're right.
And like he's hugging his son. I'm like, oh, and then Paulie, this is the last round of your life.
I know. It's
I
like
was like, oh my God.
all this foreshadowing. I'm like, no.
You know, crazy old man. He's like, you'll get there.
Yeah.
Don't you worry.
I say that all the time. Like, you'll get there.
Oh, yeah, you will. But it's so funny, too, on how instead of dancing around and just throwing jabs and stuff and staying away from him and taking the fight, Mason Dixon goes,
Yeah.
Tries to go after him and goes for the knockout and goes to try to beat him.
Yeah.
Which the shot he hits him with, man, I thought he was going to take his head off.
He's tired from punching the man.
I'm telling you. Boom. Oof.
This look when he gets up, the look that he gives Mason Dixon.
Yeah.
It just gives me chills. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, bad MF.
He's like, what'd you tell the kid? And it's just gets up, get up, Rock. Everybody's cheering Rocky, right? A lot of the times when they were chanting Rocky was not that wasn't for the director. Look at Dixon's face.
He's like, dead meat.
You see Dixon's face too. He's like,
yeah,
whoa, you got up.
Yeah.
He's like, I hit you with everything I got. And he's still hitting him with some bombs, but come on. Oh. Again with the body. Well, Robert's like, chop him down. Oh, I love it.
I thought for sure, you can do it. And I thought for sure Dixon was going down, but
she's all screaming when she's into it. That's awesome. Dead center of the ring, toe to toe.
Oh, right in the kisser.
Oh, and I mean, he hit him too. He hit him good. And there it is. And again, almost, original movie type ending where he went the distance. He wasn't embarrassed. He wasn't, proving he's not a bum. And Dixon proved he could take it. He fought a tough fighter and came out on top.
Right. There's just for a lack of a better way of saying, there's so many t-shirt scenes in this movie. And here's another one coming up here very shortly, what I have a picture on my wall of. It gives me chills. I'll show it to you when it comes up. You'll know what I'm talking about.
I'm about to say, I have a feeling I know what it is.
Yeah.
I'm sure the Sly Shop's working on something.
I would hope so, because
they got a ton of stuff coming out soon.
Oh my God. I'm still waiting for the other one, the Italian one. Above your shoulder.
There's Stitch. Yeah. This one.
Yeah.
So Spider's hugging him. Everybody's hugging him. And you can hear the announcer in the background, Dixon won one round, Balboa won the other round. Like, yeah, there you go. It was Rocky-esque, And then Paulie tells him to turn around. Now, all of this here, the crowd was chanting Rocky. They weren't egged on to do it, from what I was told.
Oh, really?
That scene right there, is that what you're talking about? When he's going like this?
Yeah. Yeah, there's that one. There's that one, which is just, to me, just gives me chill. This one, which could be another t-shirt.
When he does that, I'm telling you, it had to be 30 years worth of emotion that
right.
An entire arena is chanting Rocky.
Right there
again. Oh, the hand.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
That whole scene, it's just like the hair stands on the back of my neck. That whole scene,
yeah,
because just like you were saying, Tony, all those years of culmination building up, and he's just like this. That those are his true emotions.
Oh yeah, I believe it. I believe it. I think it was. I think he was just overwhelmed and put his head down and was like, all right, I got to catch myself here. But it was just 30 years worth of this character. It's still around. Mm-hmm. I went out the way I wanted to go out. I didn't, the other film didn't live up to my expectations. And then, of course, there's the fan theory that in about 2 seconds, when Rocky turns around and waves to Adrian, and then he just vanishes, that he died. That's like, how does that even, it was a fade out. I mean, come on.
But Tony, so I have my notes. Remember when we did the episode of what questions would you ask Sly if you had the opportunity? Yeah. That was one of my questions. And I have my notes, because I have every note I've ever written from every episode we've ever done right here on my little table thing. And that was one of my questions was that in the back of your mind as a fade out?
Right.
To be, the demise,
it's
or
the ending,
the subtle ending, because it wasn't, normally they just walk away and they'd walk, down the hill or whatever. Right. But it kind of like he went into an apparition, a ghost-like figure.
White light.
Yeah. So I'm like, I remember leaving the movie theater, and every time I still watch it, I'm like, was, now we know Creed 2, 3,
Right.
all, we know that it lives on, but I'm like, was he trying to do that again? It's just one of those burning questions that there's two questions that if I ever had the opportunity to talk to Sly, and what number one is, where the hell's that bottle of bourbon?
You still on that bourbon?
I'm still on that bourbon. And I always wanted to know
funny.
that. I just think it's pretty cool, So
I mean, he might have done it where it was a little. I'm going to do this subtlety.
Yeah.
He's done. I mean, he thought he was done.
Right.
He had no idea. Almost 10 years later.
Yeah.
He'd be in playing Rocky again.
Sure.
And getting nominated for Academy Award playing Rocky and a Golden Globe and winning the Golden Globe.
Now his wife, Jennifer's going to be on here. I don't know if she already went by.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if she went by either.
Her and her sisters, I believe, were doing the kick or something like was the chorus line kick or something? Or the Rockettes.
The Rockettes.
Yeah.
Good stuff, though, man.
There they are. They just went by.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, there's no question in my mind.
What did I tell you? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but what did I tell you before we started recording? I said I have a whole bunch of pictures, but I might not get to show. I didn't show one. I did not show one picture. I had all these pictures. Okay, here's the pictures. There's the speech. There's the weigh-in. There's running the steps with the dog. There, I had all these pictures. I'm watching the movie though. I'm getting all into it. I didn't care.
I love
there we go.
that.
And then here's the. There we go.
There it is. That's just
love it. Okay, there I showed them.
Yeah, that the last one you showed, that could easily be a poster. That could be a T-shirt. Yeah. I mean, that is just. Yeah. I mean, I keep on saying the word iconic because I have nothing else to come up with. Because
there's certain, like this one here, it's got that iconic look to it, obviously, look, I mean, it's, I mean, some pictures have that about them.
Absolutely.
I get it.
It's just,
it was good, man. I mean, it definitely, I mean, they all hold a special place, obviously, to somebody as hardcore as we are and as our audience is, but this one here is definitely special.
This is my, this is my favorite one. It's my favorite one. Like I told you before, I told you last episode, this is the one I've seen the most.
Yeah.
And,
well, like you were saying about the speeches being 1A and 1B, like, I mean, that's almost like what it is for me. It's like the original Rocky is always going to be number one for me. It's always have the most special place. It's when I first saw him and when I first had any emotions towards the film, towards the character.
Sure.
It changed my life. Like I told Sly when I met him, and he laughed. He said, changed mine too.
Yeah.
I bet.
It's tough because, you go between Rocky and then Balboa. Like I said, they're perfect bookends. They're just perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
The symmetry is amazing. So yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you that Rocky is like it's 1A, 1B.
It really because I used to say like Rocky's my favorite, and then Balboa, then 2, then 4, then 3, then 5.
Yeah, you know what? I'm pretty much right there in line with you.
But like you said, it's almost like it's 1A Rocky, 1B Balboa. 2 is 2.
Yeah.
3 is 4.
Yeah.
4 is 3. And then 5.
So I sent you, I'm gonna spring this up on you. Yeah, I sent you a text. I don't know whether you got it or not. It was the other day.
Right now?
No, it was the other day. It was the last text I sent you. It was a picture, actually.
Okay.
And I thought it was quite fitting. Do you want to look for it? Because I thought it was quite fitting with what we've been talking about previously with John's paintings
Okay.
and the Boxing Hall of Fame inauguration weekend. And let me know if you find it.
Okay. I got it. I'm going to send it up here.
Okay.
It's going to take me a minute, but I'll get it on there. So you can go
Okay.
ahead if you want to keep.
So I'm going to pull it up on my phone so that I can see it again. So I'm standing there and I'm working security at the front door, which normally I was over by where all the boxers and whatnot were, but they needed me to guard the money this year. So there was a little break in the action, and in the hallway there was these boxes of Title magazine, and they were priced from $10 to $30 to $50 and on up. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Let me I'm just going to look through them real quick, see if I can see anything with Sly on it or whatever. So I thumbed through them real quick, and I didn't see nothing. And then there were people coming in, so I had to go back over. So then I had another break in the action, and I took a little harder look. And like the third magazine that I looked at was this one. So when you get it, you let me know. There it is. Look at the words.
So you got, well, first of all, you got Jack Dempsey up there. So and then Rocky Balboa won
on how he would fight. Rocky Balboa on how he would fight Larry Holmes and Jerry Cooney.
Oh, get out. That's awesome.
Yeah. Next episode, I'll make sure I have the magazine that's upstairs at the moment.
So
I'll
got
show
it?
you.
That's cool.
I do. I bought it. I did buy it. And it was an interview with Sly, and saying he was talking about how he felt, how he thought that Rocky would fight those two fighters. And I thought, I'm a big boxing fan, but not in today's day and age of boxing. I know some of them, but I mean, we grew up, Tony. We grew up in the heyday. We were very fortunate. We had Frazier Ali, Holmes, Hagler, Foreman, Sugar Ray Leonard, and the Roberto Duran. Yeah, I mean, the list is
Boom Boom Mancini. Remember him?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I lost my train of thought. Anyhow,
yeah,
so
it's a lot different today. I mean, especially with so many other fighters now. They're from other countries, and they have not that there wasn't any from other countries when we were younger, but
right
now it's just there's a lot more involved. There's a lot more, and of course, there's more belts too.
Right, but what my point was I was reading it, and Sly was saying that he thought that Rocky could definitely beat Jerry Cooney and Larry Holmes. But what I thought that was kind of weird was he was equating Larry Holmes to Apollo Creed in the fighting style. And I remember watching Larry Holmes fight.
Yeah, Larry Holmes was not that type of fighter.
No, Larry Holmes was not, he wasn't slippery, and he wasn't, sugar.
He was not light. He was not light on his feet. He didn't have that kick jab.
No. Like if you had a fight between Larry Holmes and George Foreman, you'd hear nothing but gloves hitting.
Well, later George Foreman. I mean, the younger George Foreman just hit you with bombs. He didn't dance around.
Right.
But, I mean, but then the later George Foreman, they were just like rock'em sock'em robots.
Absolutely. That's where I think the rock'em sock'em robot. You can picture Larry Holmes and George Foreman later in years. But it struck me that Sly was saying that he thought that Larry Holmes had that fighting style like Apollo. I'm like, no, he really didn't. If you had to pick a fighter, who would it be
in the Rocky saga?
Well, no. If you had to pick a true life fighter,
right?
Who would be?
Who was like Apollo?
Yeah, who is the epitome of Apollo Creed? There's only one name.
Ali. I mean,
it has to be Ali. There's only one name.
No, it's absolutely Ali. The way he was, his arrogance, his cockiness, his dancing around, his flicking the jab. I mean, it was based on Ali. I mean, it was, Sly knows that. He wrote it based on Ali.
Absolutely.
I mean, but yeah, we have some really good stuff coming up. We have some very good guests coming up, good episodes coming up. Like I said, our boy Rick has been working hard, getting all kinds of stuff happening. So there'll be some big surprises coming soon. Yes. We've already said that before in the past, and we kept our word. So
we did.
Keep posted on what's coming up.
Right.
We won't give you any hints.
I walked a lot of miles for these.
There, that's your hint. Rick walked a lot of miles. But it was good. It was good to be back, buddy. It was good to record again, and we'll be doing it again next week. My daughter's not coming home. She's going back. Well, she comes home August 3rd just for the night, and then she goes back to college.
Well, she can live with it for one night.
Oh, yeah. She doesn't care about one night. It was that she was here for 6 weeks, and she was like, I don't really want all this crap in my room. Like, all right, I get it,
Yeah.
At least she didn't make me take anything down, so that's good.
That's very good.
No.
That would have been like they would have been doing like the Adrian's Wall.
Oh, God. I would have been.
Or the Victor Cafe.
I mean, I would have had to put it all back up. That's just it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
But anyway, good stuff. Good episodes coming up. Good. Keep your eye out for some promos.
Yes.
And we'll see everybody next week.
You got it, buddy.
All
missed
right.
you. I missed you.
Same. No, it was the same. I couldn't wait to get back on with you. It's like a little kid.
I know.
Awesome.